Well, I discovered the house when I was attending college in Ateneo de Manila. In one of my research work in the library, I came across a book written by Father William Repetti, a Jesuit, who was connected with the Manila Observatory. He was not a historian, but he was interested in the Jesuit properties. So he was in Cebu and found that this house was a Jesuit house. In 2007, I decided to open the house to the public. Then later, I came into contact with an architect from University of Shiga, architect Professor Juan Jimenez, and he was the one who encouraged me, who helped us in working for the conservation and preservation of the house. This was how we got in touch with Escuela Taller. And from there, the house now is an architectural house for study. And lately, as we were doing some excavation or repair of the pillars, we got the interest of the University of San Carlos, and through Dr. John Peterson of the University of Guam, they are now starting to make archaeological study.
I made some evaluation about the structural integrity of the house, and I saw some part of the posts, the wooden posts and the corbels were already separating. And then slowly, after fixing some of the foundations, we tried to open part of it as a parang gallery. So I tapped my chapter in the United Architects of the Philippines. If you remove all the walls, only the posts remain, you can see that the posts are really the ones who are carrying the load of the roof.
The 1730 Jesuit House or Museo Pari-an sa Cebu, in the last 4 years, it grew from a group of businessmen who opened the museum, and now he's involved with different institutions. He has collaborated with international agencies.
Most important point was the beginning of this conservation project, to be able to start. Up to this point, the way that we have is a race without hurry, slowly race. But the relay race, all the participants of this project, all these members, must to know and must to learn from each other and be unique. And also I think it's a relay race in time, because we must to think in long term, raise awareness, prepare to the new generation to continue this way until the goal.
Escuela Taller, in any intervention, would make it a point to include the community, or at least inform them about decisions. When there is ownership, that means there is responsibility, there is accountability, not just by the private owner of the Jesuit House, but also by a community. And with that collaboration, I think we'll be able to enable the conservation of the Jesuit House.
It's very important at this point to continue on with the conservation development program or the conservation maintenance program, just so we can stabilize the house so it is no longer sinking. Recently in 2013, there was an earthquake which displaced some of those roof tiles. And by displacement, I mean that they had, instead of forming the rows of tisas that would disperse water, they actually moved apart so water is entering the house. That's another, actually, sort of secondary to the immediacy of the conservation management program.
There are still a lot of things that we have to work into, especially in terms of promotion and awareness of the community about the Jesuit House. So maybe this time, magkaroon na tayo ng legislation protecting the heritage sites in the city.
I hope I will get more help from the general public in my endeavor, not only to preserve the house, but to preserve the history of Cebu.